A woman named Gabrielle Blair is making a little bit of noise on Twitter. A post that she made went viral. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that are on both sides of the fence when it comes to what she was talking about. And the subject that she was very strongly opinionated about was the idea that men are 100% responsible for all unwanted pregnancies. Now, there are probably some men that are like, wow, that's a big that's a nail in the coffin on as far as a lack of accountability. But her reasonings are, there is a little bit of logic in it. And what I mean by that is, if you think about it, and she says this in in one of her tweets, she says that women can only get pregnant about 2 days each month for a limited number of years, and that biologically is true. And she goes on to say that a man can cause pregnancies 365 days of the year. Biologically true also, because an ejaculation can cause a pregnancy. Now, excuse me, while I believe the content of what she is saying is true, I also have to look at some other things. But before I get to those, I'll add this too. There, and this is another area where I think she mentioned it too, but women or men rather, there was a birth control pill that was under testing, and that whole thing was killed. You know, the male pill was killed. And I agree that there should be a male pill. I don't understand to this day why there's not a male pill. She cited that women who are on the pill and on these other forms of contraception, you know, sometimes they suffer these side effects. And I've seen them firsthand from women that I've dated in the past. And I will agree with that as well. These pills are harder on women's bodies than I think many men understand. And I think all of this brings me to my own personal opinion as to why, without sounding like a chauvinist, you know, I'm not going to bite my tongue. That's not what I do these days. Which is all the more reason for a woman to take responsibility for herself. These things happen to a woman. A woman gets pregnant. She has to carry that child. She has to go through the labor pains. She has to go through knowing this child 9 months longer than the man has to. That's a scary thought. I have a child, but I also know the responsibility of having a child. And it's not a responsibility that I ever want again. I didn't wait for the woman to practice proper birth control. What I did is I got a vasectomy. That's called being accountable. Now, you know, I jotted down a couple of notes, and you know, I thought about it. A woman has so much to lose, and also mentally. You know, when people break up, when women are abandoned, it's devastating. And something that important, with all of the intricacies that are emotional and physical, I would have to, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know, but it's just as a responsible human being, if I had more to lose than the other person, I probably would take the initiative as far as being responsible for my own body. I once did a piece on what is it, a preventative solution as far as the justice system. And I look at this situation sort of the same way. In the justice system, there's been this huge, debate as to whether it focuses on different, if it was made to negatively impact different communities based off of race. Well, despite stats and all that, we don't know. Well, my solution to that was, if you're not a part of the system, if you don't end up going to jail, if you don't do something to go to jail, then you're not in jail. Men cause pregnancies 100% of the time. This is true. But the flip side of the coin, and that side of the coin that I'm on, is women can prevent unwanted pregnancies 100% of the time by taking the initiative. Keep your legs closed. Keep your legs closed until either A, and especially if you're not into the whole abortion thing, until either A, you are sure that this man is worthy of making a baby with, or B, maybe C, or B, you are willing to take on the responsibility of the human that man helped create 100% of the time. And then finally C, perhaps you're with abortion. If you can live emotionally with an abortion, fine. It's still available to you. The rate of abortion is available because women, or the rate of abortion is at an all-time high because women know that it's available to them. The 100% of pregnancies that men have and are causing is happening because women are making themselves available in a way that men are taking advantage of. Everybody takes advantage of a privilege. Women want the right to control their bodies so that they can have abortions when they behave irresponsibly and don't want a child. Period. And anybody that can't see the logic to that and understand that probably has their own self-serving ideas of how things should be. I think this passing of responsibility pretty much useless. If I were a woman and I knew at the end of the day the most that I could do to a man is hit him with child support and then he's on with his life. Meanwhile, I have a child which he may or may not be involved with because there's no law saying you must be involved with your child. There's only laws on the book that say you will pay for your child. Then I would be very, very apprehensive about sleeping with anybody that I wasn't married to. I don't understand why that doesn't make sense. So for me, I think Gabrielle Blair's post has some truths to it. But I think it's also astonishing of how responsibility women in certain situations are, this article is making it so that women are absolved of their responsibility to themselves, not to society, but to themselves, until the situation is fixed and things are equal. Why would you not be 100% responsible for avoiding a situation that ultimately, in the end, physically and emotionally only affects you? I think that question is just as relevant, and that comment is just as relevant as the statement that men make 100% of unwanted pregnancies. I don't know which side of the coin you fall on, and there's merit to each side, and I'm not condemning, I'm simply pointing out which side I'm on, and that's self-accountability. If you like what we do at Empirical Planet and you like commentary such as this, feel free to chime in. We could use your likes. We could use subscribers. We're a brand spanking new channel. And we want to connect with people that are interested in discussing topics like this. Take care.